Greetings, Toiletarians. I'm your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me, obviously. The discussion topic for this episode is not that funny. You know how when somebody will be laughing so hard at something that they think is so super funny, and you'll just want to say to them, hey, dude, it's not that funny. It's hilarious. Let me give you all an example. I have a buddy who goes around to random strangers. He asks them, want to hear the world's best joke? Sure, why not? Okay, here it is. Your cat's dead and your mother-in-law is stuck on the roof. It's not even a joke. It's not even funny. Well, the part that's funny to me is the fact that he thinks that's a joke. And he thinks that's so funny while people give him the deer in the headlights look. He'll say it and they'd be like, huh? I'll tell you what, the worst is when some student will be in class, will be being disruptive, doing something funny that every student thinks is just hilarious, but then the teacher will speak up and say, hey, you, quit being disruptive. It's not that funny, guys. Seriously. For example, one time in school when I was a kid, there was this foreign exchange student who didn't speak English or any English very well. He was laughing so hard, and nobody knew what on earth he was laughing at. He didn't have a screen in front of him. Nothing was in front of him. He was just like, and everyone was like, what is he laughing at? It got so contagious that in no time flat, the contagious laughter spread, and everyone in the room was just busting out laughing. And it was at nothing. So it wasn't that funny. Well, it was, but it wasn't. If that makes any sense. I remember one time, speaking of which, my Nana took me and my sister and a friend of my sister's out for frozen yogurt. At the frozen yogurt place, there were these kids running around, being all rambunctious. One of them skid a chair across the floor. The floor, really, really loud too. It made a really loud noise. I was like, ooh. Like, it was awful. It was like somebody's fingernail scratching a blackboard. And after it was over, one of the kids was like, that was so funny. Me, nor my sister's friend laughed, but Nana, I'll show y'all, she was like, and me, my sister, and my sister's friend looked at Nana, and we were like, Nana, what's so funny? And she's like, just hearing that kid's voice say, that was so funny. I looked her square in the face and said, that's not that funny. And she was like, John, or Toilet, or whatever she called me at the time. Lighten up and get a sense of humor. There were times when I wanted to tell her that, though, to tell Nana to lighten up and get a sense of humor. For example, and I think I mentioned this particular time on one of my previous episodes, Nana and I were taking my sister to dance. You see, her dance studio was on a square. There was a railroad track. And we were trying to find a parking spot on the side of the railroad track that the studio was on, the dance studio was on. But there were no parking spaces, so we had to cross over the railroad track. And as soon as we found a parking space on that end of the railroad track, just as we were pulling in, we heard the train toot toot, and the bars were like ding 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 going down. My Nana was like, oh, dang it. She started cursing up a storm. And I'm just sitting there cracking up laughing. And she looks at me and she's like, John, or toilet, or whatever she called me back then. It's not that funny. Your sister's gonna be late for dance. I get that and all, but come on. You're the one that needs to lighten up and get a sense of humor, Nana. And then later, that evening, after my Nana and I got my sister back from dance, after we had picked up some fast food on the way home, we stopped at a red light right next to a sidewalk because we were in the turn lane. We stopped right in front of a Big Lots, and in front of the Big Lots, out in the grass, above the sidewalk, there was somebody dressed up. Well, you couldn't tell who the person was because they were dressed like a bull with a nose ring. Like this really weird looking mascot thing. Anyway, the bull with the nose ring comes up to my window and I can't see it because I'm looking at my sister, talking to her. My sister's like, hey, John? And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, what the? I look at that ring around his nose. I'm like, what the? Me saying, what the? That was enough to set my sister off. She started laughing. And I said to her, what's so funny? She was like, the way you said, what the? I'm like, it's not that funny. Anywho. But, yeah, I say to her, that's not that funny, when sometimes I laugh at things and people have to say to me, hey, dude, it's not that funny. Like, for example, one time, as an insult, I called somebody the Pillsbury Doughboy, and was just busting out laughing so hard I could barely get the words Pillsbury Doughboy out. And they told me, hey, dude, it's not that funny. Another time, as an insult, I called somebody else the Indian Gerber baby. And same thing. I was trying not to laugh, and I could barely get the words Indian Gerber and baby out. And they said to me, dude, it's not that funny. So I guess the moral of this episode is something along the lines of, we all have different opinions on what's funny and what's not funny. And therefore, if someone thinks something is funny, just let them think it's funny. Don't be all hateful and say to them, stop it, it's not that funny. Don't be. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this discussion topic. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more upcoming content, which will be amazing. You won't want to miss it? All right. Keep it real. Peace out.
Hold up.